When the urinal flushes, I'm having problems with water leaking coming from behind the urinal right back in here, and then it's getting all out on the floor down in this area. So I'm gonna take the urinal off and see what's going on back there. The first step you're gonna wanna do is shut the water off. The next step is disassembling the upper part. I like to start from the top right and work my way down. You can kind of see here in sped up motion how I go about disassembling each part. I love these smooth-jawed Nipex pliers. They're easy to adjust and they don't mar up the chrome on the different parts of a commercial toilet. This bolt was really corroded on there and I couldn't get it loosened, so I eventually just used an extra pair of pliers and ground the nut off of there. So I'll replace these anyhow, so it doesn't really matter what shape they're in when you're done. If you have caulking holding the urinal onto the wall, you want to cut that first with a box knife before you try to pull the urinal off the wall. When you lift the urinal off of the wall, it's hung on by two French cleats, so you'll have to pull up a little bit on the urinal and then pull off away from the wall. So here's our culprit. This gasket in here, you can see, has started to deteriorate and it's leaking right down in here whenever you flush the toilet. So here's the part we need to get. The urinal was pretty stuck on the wall, I think partially because of the caulk that was on here. So I used a rubber mallet and screwdriver. Probably not the best move with the screwdriver in there, but I'm sure you could use a putty knife or something to kind of break it away a little bit. You just have to be really careful not to chip your tile or the porcelain on the urinal. This is the replacement gasket that I got. It looks a little bit different than the original, but that's what they had at the hardware store. So I'm going to see if this will work. It fits nicely over this piece of PVC here. I also just got some replacement bolts, as the old ones are looking really bad. I was having a hard time keeping the replacement gasket on the wall and also feeding the two bolts through the bottom holes on the urinal. So I ended up just hanging the urinal on the wall with the brackets and then working the gasket up behind it and then situating the bolts. Now you're just going to want to snug up the nuts and bolts there on the bottom, and you can kind of see how the urinal will pull up tight against the wall, and that's compressing the gasket in the back and creating a good seal. The final step is just reassembling everything in reverse order from how you disassembled it, and just make sure that all your gaskets are fitting properly, and then we'll give it a test run, see how we did. All right, so this is where the toilet was leaking under here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a flush and then wipe it with a paper towel and we'll see if it comes out dry. Dry as a bone. Beautiful. So I guess that gasket worked. Hopefully you found that video helpful. That was actually the first time I've ever done that, and it was pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and thanks for watching.